There is one fatal mistake that most crypto traders will make during a bull run. Even with Bitcoin and Ethereum both pushing new all-time highs and this full-blown altcoin season about to start, most people will still lose money from this one big mistake. I don't want to tease you. This big mistake is FOMO chasing new coins and new narratives every week and end up always being late to the next one. So you end up being on the sidelines. You go into this narrative after it has already pumped, and then another coin pumps, and then you try to chase it again, but you end up not making any of the money. So in this live stream, I will give you a simple guide to prepare for the altcoin season so you can avoid playing the catch-up FOMO game. Instead, you can ride the altcoin wave easily without stress. Okay, let's go ahead and get started right away. So, the signs of altcoin season is very clear. I don't think anyone should be doubting this much anymore. Bitcoin is pushing new all-time highs. It just made a new all-time high this morning at $121,000 on the daily chart. Ethereum is at 4,700 as we speak, very close to the previous all-time high at 4,850, just about to break it. This is the classic sign, okay? And because all the large altcoins are pumping, XRP is starting to catch up already. You have Solana that pumped quite a bit since our live stream 2 days ago. It didn't even do this chop. Instead, it just went straight for this move that we were expecting it to do over the next month and a half. So all of that is leading to Bitcoin dominance breaking down. You see Bitcoin dominance on the daily chart. Even though we had the weekly close above 60.5% right here, this week is looking very good for altcoins as the first 4 days of this week has had Bitcoin dominance go down a bit further. So now when you look at the weekly candle, halfway into the week, we are already at 59.46%, which is below the resistance already on the weekly that we need to close below. So the final confirmation I need in order to call this alt season is for this week that closes on Saturday or Sunday, I'm not sure, for us to not get back above 60.5% on Bitcoin dominance. And that's not that hard to do anymore. So quite likely we are going to get altcoin season sustainably. So then the next question is, how do you play this? Okay, how do you profit from altcoin season? The most common mistake that gets most beginner traders trapped, if this is your first cycle, is people try to chase that immediate 100x at the beginning of the alt season, which we have warned people about a lot of times already. The large caps move first before the mid caps, before the low caps. But very similar to that mistake is people think that they need to catch the coins that are currently running. And if they don't catch it, they're going to miss the immediate 10x or whatever gain that's going to happen, and exclusively for those coins. This is not the case, okay? Some pro tips for you to get positioned in an altcoin season. Number one, forget about chasing the best narratives. All of the content that you'll see on crypto Twitter, YouTube, whatever now, from now on, is going to be about, hey, look, this coin just pumped. Hey, look, this narrative is pumped, right? This is so good. You know, you should look at it. It's nice, right? Those videos are interesting and they get views. I like making those videos as well because I have my favorite narratives as well. I love AI, I love gaming, I love memes, I love ETH, for example. But that doesn't mean these coins are the exclusive ones that will pump. By definition, of altcoin season, okay, when you look at these typical indicators, we are currently in altcoin month. We're not there yet on altcoin season by the seasonal performance chart, which is 3 months. But regardless, all of these altcoin season, altcoin month, altcoin year indicators, they look at how many of the top 50 or top 100 coins have been outperforming Bitcoin over one season, in this case 90 days. So by definition, if we are in an altcoin season, 75% of coins are going up against Bitcoin. So there is really no reason to say, hey, look, it's altcoin season and, 5 coins. You have to buy these 5 coins, otherwise you're missing out. That's not the case. Most likely is a group of coins runs and then another group of coins run and another group of coins run. That's usually how it happens. But you don't have to be exclusively in any narrative in order to take advantage of altcoin season. In fact, quite the contrary, if you try to do that, you end up missing all the gains. Okay, so that's number one. Altcoin season, by definition, most things will end up running. Number 2 pro tip. Remember the money flow in crypto. You can just literally Google money flow in crypto. I'm pretty funny. My video is actually on here. But this is originally from Rect Capital from like 4 years ago that he really just put these into concrete point. Essentially, what this is telling us is not that specific narratives will go first. Instead, it's a proven, observable pattern from previous cycles, which is that larger cap altcoins tend to run first, and then mid cap altcoins, and then low cap altcoins. Even within the top 100 altcoins, just on CoinMarketCap like this, the top 10s will run first, and then the top 20, and then top 30, and then top 40. Yes, there will be individual outliers. Like, for example, some people are saying like, Pengu has pumped a bit. You have like some SPX has pumped before. There was something that just pumped like today. I forgot what it was. It was like, it's still in, Aerodrome is up a lot, right? Up 77%. So a lot of people see these and they think, oh my God, I must buy Aerodrome or the next Aerodrome. Otherwise, I'm going to miss out. And then you spend all your time trying to figure out what that is. In the meantime, you see many other coins turn green as well on the week. So stop trying to find the outliers that gives you huge gains immediately. This is altcoin season. You don't need to do that. Just by positioning in strong coins from the top to the bottom, starting from the large caps, you will be able to make a ton of gains. This is easy mode, and you want to ride the easy mode instead of trying to hunt for memes and hunt for gems at the moment. Okay, so that's pro tip number 2. Number 3, narrative rotations. Okay, people will say, hey, look, here are the categories in altcoins, right? I like DeFi, right? I think DeFi, stablecoins, whatever, ETH ecosystem is good. But you don't need to try to exclusively buy DeFi coins. And then next month you exclusively buy AI coins. And then next you buy gaming coins. This is not the time for that. Because we are very early in the altcoin season, when just looking at Bitcoin dominance, okay, we are much closer to the stage of late 2020, like up here, instead of down here. So what this means is these next couple months, 1 to 3 months, let's say, towards the end of the year, you don't need to catch the narratives. All the narratives will run as long as the coins are solid. The time when narratives truly matter is when most large cap altcoins are past their all-time highs already. So you don't have much gains anymore. And then Bitcoin's already 150K, Ethereum is close to 10K, Solana $300-$400. Then you start to think, okay, what's next? Is it DeFi? Is it gaming? Is it AI? Whatever, right? Maybe there are new narratives that come up. All of the narrative rotations that people seemingly made a lot of money from, like layer ones, gaming, whatever it was, a metaverse in 2021, that was because Bitcoin dominance already got quite low. Most of the large caps have already moved a lot, so it brought Bitcoin dominance quite low. So you needed to play new narratives, smaller coins, in order to make more gains. And that's why each of these swings was the market shifting from one narrative to the other. But right now, we don't need to do that. Okay, Bitcoin dominance is most likely just going to trend down for quite a while. We're not looking at something like this. Okay, this is some later stage of the cycle when at least, the top 20, top 30 coins should be at all-time highs. Then you worry about that. But until that happens, you don't need to. Like, Dogecoin is still like 3x away from previous all-time high. Cardano is like 2.5x away from previous all-time high. You don't need to worry about narratives at the moment. So I think it's too early for that. Okay, so number 3 pro tip, don't worry about narratives at the moment. And number 4, and I believe the most dangerous, and I have fallen to this many times before in last 2 cycles. Don't try to time the market in terms of which coins will pump first. So a very common way that people can get ahead of themselves is they look at the crypto market caps and the crypto performance over 1 week, over 1 day, right? And then you start to do some mental gymnastics, and then you say, okay, I just need to catch, let's say, a 40% move on Chainlink right here. If I manage to do that, okay, I make 1.4x on Chainlink. And then next, I'm going to make 1.4x on Sui. And then next, I'm going to make 1.4x on whatever the next meme to pump, Shiba Inu, right? Because somehow I'm better than everyone else. And then you start to put like multiples on top of each other, compound it, and you feel like you can make 1.4x to the square root, not square root, to the power of 3, and then the multiples will look insane, right? It will look like 2.5, 3x, whatever. And then you try to chase that. But what ends up happening is you miss out on all the gains because nobody will know which coins will pump first, and then which coins will just so happen to pump right after that. No, the coins are not going to wait for you, right? Just because you're currently holding Ethereum and you only want to sell Ethereum at 5K doesn't mean Solana is going to stay at $200 and wait for you to sell Ethereum at 5K. Then you can just perfectly convert all your Ethereum gains into Solana and then do that again, convert your Solana gains into Dogecoin. That's not real. That's not going to happen, right? The market doesn't care about your bags. So stop thinking like that. That's not going to happen. Don't try to compound your gains and aim for high multiples. Instead, play one coin at a time. If you expect Solana to go to 300 from 200, okay, make a new all-time high, then take that bet. See it play out. Let it run its course, give you that actual 50% gain, which is a lot already. And then at that point, maybe Dogecoin has already run 50%. That's fine. Maybe Cardano has run 50% at the same time. That's fine. You just move on down the list, and then you see something else that hasn't run yet that has potential. And then once your first trade is complete, then you can worry about the next one. Very important to not try to perfectly time rotations between different coins. Nobody can do that. Okay. So I think these are some of the most common mistakes people make, which can seriously cause you a lot of trouble, even when coins are going up, all at the same time. Okay. So let me give you a 6-step process to get positioned in altcoins. At the moment, in this early stage of the altcoin season for the next, let's say, 1 month. I think a lot of these things in these 6 steps will play out in the next month, which will hopefully just give you an easy time so you don't have to worry about a lot of things. So step number 1, only look at the top 100 coins. If you're a beginner, you don't need to venture much further. Most of the top 100 coins are still way below their previous all-time high, and they're still very strong coins. You don't need to look at most things, okay? So step number 1, look at the top 100 coins. Step number 2, filter out some undesirable coins. So some examples. If a coin is a very weird narrative, like an exchange coin, for example, like stuff like this, Una's said Leo, this is the exchange token of Bitfinex, if I'm not mistaken. You have like OKB, which just randomly pumps a lot. This is because it's OKX decided to burn a lot of their tokens. It's very hard to play these. Big Get token, for example, I don't think anyone uses it outside of the Big Get exchange, so I would skip the exchange coins. Chronos is okay. It has a DeFi ecosystem, but just the obvious ones. Another example category would be inflated, fully diluted valuations. So most obvious example here would be things like Internet Computer or Pi. So Internet Computer, when you click into the coin, you see, okay, the all-time high was $420. And currently it's at $6. It's not going to the previous all-time high. It's just simply not possible. Look at the total supply, 500 million times 400, 20 billion. Is it 20 billion or 200 billion? 200 billion. It's not going to happen. This coin is not going to 200 billion FDV. Okay, so you can still buy these coins, but just have a realistic expectation. So for this cycle, maybe the all-time high you can take is maybe something like these highs in 2024. $20 would be plenty good already. That would be 10 billion FDV. So that's another filtering you can do. A very inflated FDV. So watch out for those charts. Another category of coins I would filter out would be outdated technologies. Coins that are not the teams are not really working on anything anymore. So Polygon, for example, I'm not a big fan of Polygon anymore. They have really spun out too many parts of their team, and so many people have left the team. I wouldn't buy Polygon at the moment. Similar would be, is Cosmos even still up here? I don't know where it is. Yeah, Cosmos. Nobody really uses Cosmos anymore for their WASM stack. So stuff like that, just watch out. And then any coins that have already pumped to new all-time highs, it will be harder to find entries on those. So these would be examples like, let's see, on Tron, for example. So, look, we are already at all-time high. Is this going to head higher if the market continues? Most likely, but you don't have a very easy way to target something for this month. So comparing this versus other layer ones like Cardano, even Solana, right? Solana still isn't at previous all-time high yet. So those are better bets. So you can filter out Tron, instead do Solana or Stellar, Sui, whatever, right? Those are all up below previous all-time high. So this is step number 2. Filter out some of the things that are harder to find entries in. Step number 3. You want to limit yourself in terms of how many coins you want to hold. So if you just go in here and then you buy everything in the top 100 that is below previous all-time high, sure, but you end up having to track so many things. So I would say limit yourself to 10 coins. That's what I do. And if you're trying to, play a swing trade for this month for top coins to reach their previous all-time highs or a local high, You limit yourself to top 10 coins, and then you start from the top coin rankings. Okay, so we have already covered this on the last few live streams over and over again. We covered it here, we covered it here, we covered it here. Basically, start from the top. So starting from the top, Ethereum already pumped. XRP is about to pump. Solana pumped a bit already. BNB pumped a bit already. So what's next? Very simple. You just go from the top 10, and then you see which ones haven't moved yet. So Doge haven't moved much. Cardano haven't moved much. Chainlink is starting to move. Hyperliquid still has a little bit of upside. And then you go Stellar, you go Sui. Don't discount anything. Just simply go down the market cap list, starting from the top 10, and then move your way down to the top 20 once, some of the top 10 have already hit previous all-time high. Very simple. At any point, limit your core swing trade holdings to about 10 coins. Take profit from Ethereum, right, when it goes to previous all-time high, pretty close, and then you move those profits into the next one that hasn't moved yet. Super simple strategy. And then once the top 20s have all moved, then you move to top 30s. And then once most of the top 30s have moved, you move to the top 40s. This way is an actual proven strategy that follows how money runs in crypto. Instead of you trying to find coins that are supposedly better than each other, when in reality, nobody knows. Nobody knows if Doge is going to move first or Cardano is going to move first. Most likely, both are going to move together. Okay. Finally, step number 6. By doing all of this in this early stage of the altcoin season, let's say you do this for the next month, maybe 2 months. After that point, most of the top 100 coins that are strong, that have been around since last cycle, have good tokenomics, are in one of the trending narratives, they will have pumped. So after that point, you can start to see. You will start to recognize patterns within narratives. For instance, out of the top 100 coins, if all of the DeFi coins moved a lot this month, like Uniswap, Chainlink, Aave, Curve, if these coins all go up 3x, then you start to know, okay, DeFi is going to be a stronger narrative than the others. Or if it's, layer ones, Cardano, AVAX, Polkadot, Sui, whatever, right? Solana, if Toncoin, if these all move a lot, then okay, layer one narratives are more popular. Then you go in, you have that as a observation, right? Or if it's AI coins, BitTensor, Near Protocol, ICP, or if it's any other, even layer twos, who knows? Maybe Arbitrum randomly does 5x. I think it's highly unlikely, but you don't want to discount it, right? Maybe it does. If that's the case, we simply take that as an observation, and then next up, we just admit that we were wrong, and then we start aping into layer twos. Maybe that's totally possible, right? So until that happens, you don't know. After this 1 to 2 months, when all the top 100 have run, then you can use that as observation to say, okay, DeFi is one of the big narratives this run, or AI is the big narrative for this run, or maybe gaming actually makes a comeback. You don't need to front run yourself. By playing it this way, you actually see the patterns emerge instead of following random narratives. Back to the beginning when we covered why people talk about narratives. We all have our favorites. Okay, I like memes. I like AI. I like gaming, and I do talk about gaming a lot. But at the moment, gaming is not popular. So we all have our bias, and it's okay to have bias. It's okay to have your favorite, but you have to recognize nobody really knows until the market actually plays out. So everyone will claim, hey, look, like I was always right. Gaming finally made a comeback. Look, I covered gaming coins last year. It's nice to gloat, and I will probably do it as well. We all like, being right. But chances are most people will be right some point in the cycle. Okay, even the people that are fans of Arbitrum have had a good week. Arbitrum is up 40%. Like nobody have cheered Arbitrum on for years now, for like last 2-3 years. So even these guys, the Arbitrum ecosystem is laughing right now. They're gonna claim like, hey, look, like layer 2s are the future, when we know they most likely are not. So don't buy into the narrative when someone says, hey, look, like my coin's pumped, and thus, our narrative is the best. That's probably just because altcoin season is happening, and all narratives will take turns pumping after each other, and nobody really knows which is best. Okay, so get that out of your head and just follow what the money flow is and follow value, right? Follow what the chart tells you, which is which coins are still quite low compared to previous all-time high, and you go from there. You buy those coins, you wait until they play out, and then you move on to others that haven't pumped yet. That's much more practical than following narratives. Okay, so that's the process. That's a step-by-step process. Now I want to show you some specifics. What coins am I currently holding? What coins am I currently longing? What coins am I trading? How am I trading them? What are the entry and exit targets I have for this month? Let me show you that right now, exactly following this. So I'm going to be using our Pionex bots because these bots really help you take the guesswork out of the way. The bots will automatically buy until the support, and then it will automatically sell until the resistance. You can find full tutorial to how to use the Pionex bot with the link in the description. And I have also updated our spreadsheet covering 2 types of bots. So we had our hold bots. These are the bots with very wide ranges that I plan to hold until the end of the cycle. And these have price targets that are very high. For example, Bitcoin going to 200K. For this upper table, this is swing bots. These are bots that I want to hold for about 1 month, following this exact strategy I just told you, which is which coins haven't pumped, right? We ride them to the previous all-time high. We move on to the next one. Usually that takes about 1 month to play out. So you see in our last live stream, back here and back here, I have already opened bots for Ethereum and XRP. So they are, what is it? They are down here. I'm going to show you right here. So the Ethereum bot, our entry was 4K. The lower range is 3350. The high range is the previous all-time high. So on the chart, it looks like this. So you have the last low here as the support, and then you have the take profit at the all-time high resistance. Very simple. This is going to close itself quite soon. And this bot will essentially exit by itself. And then I will stop the bot and I will move that money into a new one, into the next coin. Very simple. Same thing for XRP here. So for XRP, the range looks like this. 273 with a target of, where's our target? 448. So up here. This still hasn't moved yet. I'm just going to keep holding it. But once it hits, I move that amount into the next coin up that hasn't pumped yet. Following that same strategy, okay, and moving down the coin market cap ranking list, I have opened up 7 more bots to a total of 9. So first off, we have Solana. So on Solana, this is what I'm currently looking at. I think these are charts from the last live stream, and I did say that I was going to open the bot. Yeah, this is the live stream from Monday. So the low end of the range is this low we made 2 weeks ago at 155, and I want to target 235. Between there and the 2024 highs right after the election hype, which was around 260. So let's see what I used. I used 260. So just because Solana is showing a lot of strength right here. So what that looks like on the bot is like this. So here on Solana, futures grid, I have the low end on this low at 155. I have the high end at 260. And I believe it's like 200, 210 grids-ish. So this bot will keep buying if it comes down to this last low, and then it will keep selling until we reach 260. And this is a swing trade type of move because I expect this to play out over the next month. If altcoin season continues, Ethereum breaks all-time high, okay? XRP running already. There's no reason for Solana to not run. Just sound that out for yourself. Pretty clear that this is going to be the next move. So very simple. This is what the bot is already doing because it's already open. This one right here. So 155 to 260. And you can use the link to directly copy these settings, or you can use my ranges here and the settings and just open the bot yourself, all the same. Okay, so on Solana's case, it's actually pretty interesting. So there are, I would say, 3 types of setups that you can use to find a take profit target for this type of swing trade. So on Solana, 260 to 270 is already previous all-time high, right? This is higher than November 2021 level. We were above the previous all-time high in January of this year. So this is a bet essentially on the momentum of Solana to continue and reach previous all-time high. There are coins that will look like this and that can do this type of move within 1 month. Solana is one of them because it's already at 200. So for it to go to 260, not that big of an ask. Link is another one that's similar. Do I have Link USD chart? I don't here. Link USD. So on Link, the previous all-time high is up here. On this weekly, it's about 52. But you don't have to target that high. If you discount these 2 weeks, then you're looking at about 40. From here until 40, we are already at 23. So again, that's not that big of an ask. This is because Link has been so beaten down in this entire bear market since 2023 that it really hasn't caught on to the rest of the market yet. And that's why on Link, you can also target close to the previous all-time high just for this month. This is a bot that I have opened as well on Ponex. So this one right here. I have the low end of the range at $10.90 and high end of the range at 52. So that looks like this. I'm gonna show you as a long here. The low end is these lows that we made back in June before this altcoin season really started. And then you target the previous all-time high. You see, these are not that far away, right? By percentage difference, it's actually pretty similar. So the types of move that we had since early June for the last 2 months, we just need to repeat that. And Link is already at previous all-time high. So that's why I can see this play out over the next 1 to 2 months, because the last 1 to 2 months have seen similar percentage of gains already. So this is another example that we can use to target previous all-time high on Link. Another one that can use to target previous all-time high is Hype. I have it right here. So on Hype, the targets are even clearer because we're actually very close to the all-time high at 50. So this spot I actually have open for quite a while already. Let's see. It's this one here. It's already open for the last 21 days. The low end of the range, $35, high end, $50. So that looks like this. Okay, not much more upside here. If you are just coming into this is something I would skip. It will reach previous all-time high most likely, but you don't have much more upside here. So I would say wait for this one to come down a bit and then try to open this spot. But yeah, if you want to do this one, if you're a big fan of Hype, you can use the low end at 35. Most likely this spot is going to close by itself, and I'm going to move that into other coins soon. So these are coins that we can use to target previous all-time highs. Now, there are some that are even lower. For example, on Cardano. Cardano, even though it moved quite a bit, okay, this move since June, it went from 54 cents to 90 cents, and then we retraced to 69. We are back up to 87 cents. But the previous all-time high is way back here at $3. So I don't see us reaching $3 imminently. It's not going to happen this month. It's pretty unlikely. Because over the last 2 months, when Ethereum has been pumping, when altcoins have been looking really good, Cardano is up quite a bit, but not super, it's not some crazy amount. It's up 70%. If we repeat the same type of gains on Cardano for the last 2 months, we take this, we map it to right now, that will bring us to, $1.47. That would not be previous all-time high. Previous all-time high is $3. So that's another case where it's different from the setup on Solana. You need to find a short-term target instead of targeting the previous all-time high already, because that's likely not going to happen this month. So the one I used on Cardano, and similar to the one I use on Dogecoin as well, is targeting these Q4 2024 highs, the local highs using TA, which is around $1.15, $1.20 range. So you see these 3 highs that we made in Q4 last year, Q1 of this year. We use that, and then you can use these recent lows. Because since we're not targeting a very high target for this month, we also don't need to have a very low support range. Most likely, if the momentum is good, Cardano is probably not going to head back down here anymore. So the range I used on this is here, 68.8 cents and $1.27. So what that looks like is like this. You take a position using the bots. The bot will continue to buy until this low. And it will look to take profit right above these highs that we made in Q1. Something like this. And we want to see this play out as a swing trade over the next month. As long as the market is good, as long as we have altcoin season, Ethereum pumps, XRP pumps, Solana is already pumping also. Why would Cardano not pump? Pretty clear. So I think this is a very easy trade. It has a very high probability to play out. And when you look at the types of moves it has, using Fibonacci retracement or just simply taking the size of the move here, and then you map it to the size of the move here, it's similar, right? From the low to the high, and then you map it to the last low to the next high. Very similar. $1.40-ish. You see this right here. If we just repeat the move that we had since June 20th. So this is something that I can totally see happening with a pretty high probability. You don't want to target, again, the previous all-time high because that's still very far away. If you want to do that, then you can use a longer range bot where you have your low range below these yearly lows, let's say at 50 cents, and then you can target the previous all-time high at $3. And that would be a holding bot because that kind of a position will only play out over multiple months, probably 6 to 12 months. I do have those bots as well that you can find on this lower half of the list. You see ADA, hold bot, lower range, 50 cents, high range, $3. You can do that, but these bots will not give you like immediate fulfillment in altcoin season, let's say, right? So if you want to take advantage of things that are moving one after another, I would do these type of swing trades. Okay, next we covered ADA, we covered Link. Let's look at DOGE. DOGE, very similar to the spot of ADA. So DOGE is also very far from previous all-time high, which is at 72 cents. It's currently 24 cents, so about a clean 3x away. DOGE is not going to do a 3x this month. So if you want to target the previous all-time high and you love DOGE, you got to treat it as a hold position instead of a swing trade. Don't try to, make that happen this month. It's not. Instead, what I'm looking at is, again, using Fibonacci retracement from the low to the high, and then map it to the current low, and then trying to figure out where the next swing high would be, which is, I believe, 33 cents is what I used. For DOGE, let's look at it. No, 45 cents is what I used. That is, okay, that's these highs. So these Q4 2024 highs. That's something like this, which would be closer to the 1.618 Fibonacci retracement. You can take it either way. If you lean more towards conservative side, you can just directly target 33 cents. If you're like me and you want to target, the last local high, that's technically towards 45 cents. So this is my bot setting right now. Low end of the range, 18 cents. High end of the range, 45 cents. And the setup is like this. Okay? Think of it like this. Most of the top 10s are running. You look at CoinMarketCap, okay? Ethereum already pumped, XRP already pumped, BNB is at all-time high, Solana will soon reach all-time high. Next up, what is going to go next? Why would people not buy Doge? A lot of retail is going to come back in. They all remember Doge. People are going to think about the meme again. Hey, look, Doge is going to go back to previous all-time high. Doge to $1 meme starts again. It should be able to make a run quite soon. Similar to Cardano, right? People are looking at Cardano and soon they will think it's very cheap compared to ETH. Okay. And then what else do I have on the bots? So you get what I'm saying here. You don't have to target previous all-time high. If the coin is very close to previous all-time high, then it's pretty clean as a price target. But if it's still near the bear market lows, then you can use a local high that we made over the last year. So on Cardano, on Doge, even the last year, there was a pretty high point that you can use as a swing trade for these to reach. So the last two bots that I have created are just for the next two coins up. Again, following my exact same step-by-step process that I showed you. So the next two coins up are Stellar and Sui based on market cap. So on Stellar, XLM, the yearly high was at November 2024. You can say the candle close was around 56 cents and the wick is 63 cents. Okay. And then the lows I have used are 36 cents, which is just down here. So this setup looks like this. You have the low end of the range at 36, and then you have the high end of the range at the Q4 2024 hype, this local high right here. I'm not going to repeat myself. You know, if all the top 10s run, this is the 13th largest coin. It should run, especially if XRP makes a pump. XLM always follows. So very easy to see it happen. The next one up is SUI. Again, just following market cap ranks, SUI is next. The ranges I have used are $3.26 and $5.32. So $3.36 is this right here, which is also matching the fib retracement level. So from the last low to this recent high, this is right around the 0.5 fib retracement. And sixth to the high end of the range is 532 that I used, which is these highs right here. 532. Yeah, right at the January highs. So the trade setup looks like this, where I'm simply targeting a yearly high. This is actually an all-time high, right? Yeah, SUI has never been higher than here. So technically this is a all-time high target, but also a yearly high target. So the two are the same on SUI. Again, very similar. SUI is a move-based blockchain, very similar to Solana in terms of developer base, all that same fundamentals jazz, right? It's hyper scalable. It has an ETF coming for it. So once Solana gets close to the previous all-time high, all the narrative traders will say, hey, look, you know, next up is SUI because it's very similar to Solana. We've seen this exact playbook happen before. Is it because the narratives are just so much stronger than others? Not necessarily. It's way more so because SUI is a large cap and its price has good momentum and people can see a pretty clear target for it, but it hasn't reached there yet. So the setup is good and a lot of people will try to jump into these trades. So it's way more about the price point that the coin is currently in and way less about the narrative at the moment. As long as the coin is large cap, it's proven, most likely it will make a run. Okay, so that's basically it. I have currently 9 bots open on Pionex. You can find all the settings right here with the link in the description to the spreadsheet. You can use these links to copy them. All the settings are right here. The ETH bot and the hype bot will be closed quite soon because they're pretty close to take profit. The hype bot is at 46.8, the TP is 50, and the ETH bot 4700, the TP is 4850. So once these two close, you can do two things. You can choose to change the range on ETH if you think, you know, ETH is going to head way higher above the previous all-time high. But I think it's much smarter to wait for it to consolidate a bit, maybe price to come down to retest the previous all-time high, go back into the range just below 5K, let it play out for a bit, consolidate, then you can open a new bot. So what I'm going to do is once the ETH swing bot closes, the hype swing bot closes, I will then move down on the coin rankings list, which would be Bitcoin Cash. Probably I will skip. Nobody is really that interested in it, but I would do Hedera bot. I would do AVAX. I would look at TON. I would look at SHIB, Uniswap, etc. Just move down that list. And keep my number of positions open in this fashion to a maximum of 10. Very easy, right? This way you have a clear step-by-step plan. You don't need to know, okay, like, is Solana a better buy than XRP? Is Doge a better buy than Cardano? Nobody knows. In reality, they're all good buys. Save yourself the mental energy in trying to maximize and trying to predict, can I catch a 20% move on Doge first and then I can perfectly catch another 20% move on Cardano. Don't try to do that. Instead, just go down the list. If the coins are similar in market cap, and they're still quite low, you buy them at the same time. Once they have moved, you move down that market cap rankings to find other coins that are more likely to have not pumped yet because they're lower market cap. And then you go step by step like that. That's a much more sound strategy that I'm following using the bots. Make sure to check out our bots on Powenex. You can find all the links in the description. This same spreadsheet has been updated. You can find my current swing bots that I'm using for trade. And follow me on X at VirtualBacon0x. I'll be updating my day-to-day trades. If it's on one of the days where I'm not doing a live stream on the weekends, but we're still updating the bots, then I will post them on X instead. Okay, thank you guys for joining, and I will see you on the next video and the next live stream.